Today's topic is something that I have struggled with for a very long time, and it's resawing pieces of wood accurately and thinly. For the longest time, I wasn't able to get straight, even cuts without the blade wandering. So I will show you what I figured out with the help of my guitar making colleagues. They told me what works for them and the tips and tricks that they had for me. I'm talking about turning 11-inch curly maple slabs into usable guitar backs and sides. So here's the first couple that I sliced up, and they are awesome. I'm really happy with them, and I was able to get three backs out of 1.5-inch piece. So I'm using a Laguna 14 SUV bandsaw. I had a lot of issues with this bandsaw actually. I think something must have happened to it in shipping originally, but sort of worked out the kinks over the years, and I think it's running pretty smoothly now. But as far as blades go, there are a variety of blades out there for resawing. I think they would all work pretty well. I don't have experience with all of them, but it seems to me like, well, right now I'm using a blade it's not an expensive blade. It's one that I bought years ago and just have never tried. It's an R&D 5/8-inch 4 teeth per inch blade. You don't want too many teeth per inch because the blade needs to be able to get rid of the sawdust that it's cutting as quickly as it's cutting. I know I haven't found any good videos online about how to actually resaw thick pieces of wood with the bandsaw, so I thought this would be a good topic, and I hope you learn from it and are able to resaw some local wood or some planks that you bought and make use of them. There are fancier blades which will leave like a cleaner cut face. I might try those after this one. But so far this is working well. The tracking of the blade on the wheel, you really just have to worry about the top wheel, but you don't want the blade in the center of the wheel. You want the deepest part of the gullet of the blade in the center of the wheel, because you want that maximum tension on that cutting edge, not on the back or in the middle of the blade where it can actually start wobbling when it's cutting. So if you have the tension right on the front edge of the blade, then the back edge of the blade can follow in the curve of your cut. So in this case, I have the deepest part of the gullet almost to the center of the blade. I didn't want to go too far because then the blade actually starts sticking out too far on the back of the wheel. But for the most part, the tension is right on the front of this edge of the blade. As for the tension on the blade, when you're doing a tall resaw like this, I'm doing 11 inches deep, you want a lot of tension, and this was the mistake that I was doing for the longest time that wasn't allowing me to get good results. But basically with this Laguna saw, I have it maxed. I've put as much tension as I can put on it, and I'm finally getting good results. And it's a good idea to get a tension indicator. I still have to get one. It's something that is on my list of things to get for sure. But basically at this point it seems like the more tension you can get on there, the better. Adjusting the guides, you basically just want them just shy of touching the blade. Same thing goes for this direction as side to side. You basically just want it not to touch when you spin the blade freehand on the bottom and the top. Now, one thing I noticed with this bandsaw, I'm pretty sure for years that this actual whole unit was crooked. So my guides were actually crooked on the side of the blade, so if the blade wanted to go anywhere, it would always go in the one direction. Obviously not ideal. So once I adjusted that, once I took this whole piece off and filed down an area for the set screws to sit on, then I actually was able to straighten it with the blade and again actually get some good results. So the next thing to make sure you have is a fence that's set to how the blade wants to cut. So I've got this block here that I use all the time, and it basically tells me which direction the blade wants to cut straight. So at what angle to put the fence, so that the fence follows the cut that the blade wants to make. So if I follow these lines that are parallel to this edge on this block freehand without this fence here, and then I stop midway through the cut and mark on the table the line that is parallel to this cut, then I can line up the fence with that line. Some people do this test where they set the ruler against the side of the blade, but it's not very accurate. As you can see, there's less space between the fence here and the ruler and more space over here. So the blade does not exactly want to cut. Well, and it could be just a matter of me not holding the ruler against the blade perfectly. It's a pretty narrow blade, so this ruler is not going to be the greatest test. By using this method, it really gets it accurate. Your fence is straight with the way your blade wants to cut, and you don't need a center pivot point where your blade is cutting, which is another method that guitar makers and other woodworkers use. And that would be where there's actually a piece of wood on the side of the fence here, so that you can actually move your piece side to side as it's cutting. I've tried that and it works, except if you start getting a wobble in your piece, then you're gonna get this wobble that keeps happening on each layer. And for guitar tops and backs, it's not great, because when you have a wobble and you flip it open to make a book match pair, the wobble actually is twice as bad because it's opposite when you open it up. So not ideal. If you can get the fence to follow where your blade wants to cut, that's best, I think. One more thing worth mentioning is that bandsaws, when they're resawing, they always work better when they're hooked up to dust collection. Everything just stays cleaner. There's no dust getting in between the blade and the wheels and stuff like that. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this 11-inch thick piece of curly maple. And obviously maple's not the easiest wood to saw. It's pretty dense. So here we go. There you have it, a very consistently thick piece of curly maple, and it's cutting like a dream. There you go. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, hit like, subscribe, and if you have any comments, put them in the comments below, and I hope to see you in the next video.